We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
We still have the month of June coming. Somehow, before the month of June, hopefully a lot of Christians will go over the story of the fallen and make that story clear. Because if they don't, a lot of people are going to have formed opinions. In the month of June, July, let's just say the world's going to get an education.
The ancient elements are all coming back. They're not like man is. They're way worse. Oh, just wait until authority is given to those, the ancient ones, to stand up with that man of perdition. Because when that man of perdition stands up, so will they, all over the face of the earth.
The biggest reality, as I see it, is the presence of these other intelligences that are here on Earth interacting with humanity in some very important way that we need to understand. You know, who are these guys? Are they the descendants of the Anunnaki?
I knew the Anunnaki back then. Worked with them. I was one of their products.
You know, when I could finally focus my eyes and I saw these creatures standing over me, I knew I was in no hospital. And so, you know, I just was instantly totally hysterical.
My question is, do you think there is other intelligent life outside the Earth?
It seems probable, but I think this is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, is where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know. Some people think I'm an alien.
The public basically has been totally lied to. We're considered stupid or even moronic in some cases. The military's known about the alien question for the better part of 70 years, and they first saw their glimpse of what was going on as early as 1909 in the American Southwest.
And what this is the exact same thing Jesus warned us about, and he kept warning us about, and the prophets warned us about. They warned us, and there was always going to be one generation following the death of Christ that would have to deal with all the elements of this thing. As something people, well, a lot of people in this day and age, half of them are taken over by it. They don't know it. And it is something that when it rears its head, it's going to be too late for a lot of people.
If they do invade, it'll be more like Bambi versus Godzilla.
You get how that works? Ant, boot.
So then how would we, I know it sounds implausible, but if something like this were to happen, how would we defend ourselves as a planet? We have to be prepared for the fact that they're going to overwhelm us in the opening shots of a war.
To recognize the Messiah as the Messiah is to boot all of those things out of your life, because their spiritual influence is here. You know, the book of Enoch gives a clear indication as to what they're doing. When their bodies were destroyed during the flood, their spirits, this is what it says in the book of Enoch, that their spirits would be in the earth and they would be known as evil spirits. Evil spirits. And they would seek to possess a person, to do war, to do battle. They make you feel careless in the flesh, like anything is permissible, it's no big deal. They take away conscience.
And Ike saw it, scared the hell out of him. He met the Anunnaki, that scared the hell out of him. So they're pulling our strings now like they always have.
I do really feel this in my bones, that we are right on the cusp of a massive, massive transformation, an upheaval. And as I was saying to start this conversation off, I'm not saying it's all going to be pleasant, but it's going to have to be necessary. And, you know, I pray to God that we do everything we can to make it possible.
And it's going to hurt, and it's going to be painful. We're going to come out of this thing when it's all over with, totally different species. We're not going to be the same people we were in the past.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
We still have the month of June coming. Somehow, before the month of June, hopefully a lot of Christians will go over the story of the fallen and make that story clear. Because if they don't, a lot of people are going to have formed opinions. In the month of June, July, let's just say the world's going to get an education, a real education. You know, a lot of people think they come from out there, right? Can I say one thing? If I was a very intelligent individual and I came to a planet or a house, and I looked into the house and everybody's screaming at each other, stealing from each other, beating each other up, I'm not going into that house. And they can't manage anything, I'm not going there. Why would somebody come all this way to peek around corners in the first place? That doesn't seem too intelligent. I think what people are going to learn are the three holes that are in the earth. And from those three holes, something very ancient has been there this entire time. And all three have been bound, right? All three cannot leave those holes. How they put $15 million worth of concrete to cover up all the channels going into the holes, but now the concrete is disappearing. How that the Pentagon will come out and begin to educate the public on what we're really dealing with. And they're going to have an objective to go from the month of June to December of that year to lay out a real narrative.
Aircraft assigned to U.S. Northern Command successfully took down a high-altitude airborne object off the northern coast of Alaska at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today within U.S. sovereign airspace over U.S. territorial water.
Now we've entered into a time where people, well, unfortunately, they're going to have to start to well, let's just say their belief system is going to be altered. And then there's going to be a brand new gospel released to the entirety of the world. And that comes near the time of December and January, which will uproot if a Christian is not grounded. Kind of similar to the History Channel back in 2001 when they came out with that special and they kept saying that Jesus never died on the cross. And that shook a lot of people up.
Father, forgive them. They know not what they do.
After that was the year 1999, going into 2000. Church attendance dropped and everything else. And then what happened? We had 9/11, and church attendance went back up because people were attacked by an outside religion. And so that time, the History Channel, when they aired that documentary, church attendance was shaken. It was really shaken during that time. Well, it's about to happen again on a much deeper level with evidence, proof, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And this is going to really mess up those who are not rooted. Well, if they're not rooted in Christ for real, they can't play around with their Christianity, with their salvation. And no one should put anything off for tomorrow. But these things are coming out this year. They're not going to wait. You know, right now, I don't believe people are prepared. They kind of fall apart of the smallest things. What will they do when proof is shown of things that are contrary to what the Bible teaches? Because a lot of people, I hear them say the same things. Show me evidence and then I'll believe. Unfortunately, it's not going to work that way. Faith is very important because faith is beyond evidence and proof. That means if a person has faith, it exists within them in the very heart, and Satan can't tamper with it. But if somebody can prove to you that Jesus exists, then somebody else can prove to you that he did not exist. So these people looking after proof, well, this could be that part in the Bible when it says, you know, that day shall not come unless shall come a falling away first. That moment is sad, but it could be.
This has been The Confidential Report. For even more stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel today. And please show your support by clicking the like button on this video. For even more stories and news you deserve to know the truth about, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching The Confidential Report.